I cannot believe I didn't record this. I was sitting here being like, okay, I'll finish up doing the rest of the villagers off camera because it's not very fun. I got the last enchantment on my first try. I was I wish I'd recorded this. Anyway, that's done. So I this guy needs to be zombified again, of course, but I have done every single villager with every single enchantment, which is very much a relief that it's done now, and we can finally get to the fun part of actually making completely overpowered armor and tools. But I have to wait for this guy to finish healing and get him into the system. But we were definitely on the last leg of the journey, and we're almost there after 4 episodes of doing this. And this is only episode 6 of my series. I have spent 2/3 of the episodes kind of doing this. Last episode wasn't fully this, but it was pretty close. Do it, do it, do it, do it. And we're good. I just have to go grab some tools and stuff. Mostly armor. I have most of the tools already. But then we can get to enchanting. I suppose I also have to grab maybe like 20 anvils or something because this one is not going to last the insane amount of enchanting I'm about to do. Well, I got all the stuff, but I kind of realized I forgot to say hello. So, hey guys, welcome. This is episode 6 of Parrotcraft. And I also realized something else while I was getting this stuff. The last time I did this, I had a gold farm. And you might say, why is a gold farm related to all this stuff? Well, gold farms give you a ridiculous amount of XP, and this stuff takes a ridiculous amount of XP to actually enchant. If I like combine two things, it's like 2 levels, but that number could get up into like the 60s. So having a really great source of XP is really useful. You might notice I do have 60 levels on me currently because I've been doing trading with villagers to just see if that's like a feasible option. And I think it is, but I don't actually know the numbers exactly, so I'm going to try and enchant some of these pickaxes with these 60 levels and see how it goes. First I'm doing a silk touch one, and even though I don't really need to, I'm still doing this in like the optimal way, I guess, which is like this. I don't really know why this is better, but it keeps the enchant cost down and also keeps you away from getting to the point that it tells you it's too high, which is kind of an annoying mechanic because sometimes you do have like 600 levels and it's not too high ever, but there is a cap to how many things you can put on a single tool. But that is good, and I don't really have a name for it, so I'm actually just going to leave it as Diamond Pickaxe for now, which I spelled correctly? I spelled it correctly, cool. So that wasn't too bad, and also my anvil broke, but I did in fact make some more. That used almost 30 levels, which is kind of a lot, right? And then the other one is going to be a fortune pickaxe, because that's just something I kind of need. And it looks like I might actually not run out of levels here. Cool. So I have 11 levels left, which is enough for like 2 combinations, I'd say. So I think this is probably a feasible option, but it is going to take me a while. So I'm going to grind out some levels, do some enchanting, and I will be back in probably a couple hours for me, but it'll be just a second for you guys. So I drastically overestimated how much time that would take. I'm done, and it's only been like half an hour. So that's good. I'm glad that that happened, but anyway, I do have all of the enchantments I could ever possibly want, except I don't have soul speed on the boots because I don't have soul speed, and that's something I just have to like get later. But I now have the best armor almost that I can get in the game. Oh wait, there's netherite. Should we go netherite mining? Let's go netherite mining. So normally I would use TNT for this, but I don't have enough TNT currently. But I do have a lot of wool, and hopefully bed mining will do just as well. We're gonna see how far this many beds gets me. I guess this is 21. Hopefully we get enough netherite to do at least some of our stuff. It's definitely not going to be all of it. I do already have 1 netherite ingot, actually, so I could upgrade one thing. Um, Pickaxe. Oh, it looks so pretty. I love how enchanted netherite looks, because I really like the like purple and black combination, which is a very nice like color scheme for the netherite pickaxe and stuff. Anyway, I'm gonna go to the nether and make a hole. I have dug a hole and I have dug a tunnel, and now we're ready to do some bed mining. I'm gonna go a little bit away from my ladder just so I don't actually, you know, blow it up. But then we can go ahead. I think I remember how to do this. Put the bed there. Then you kind of just like go around the corner from it so that you're as far away from I can't speak, but you get the point. Okay, that did no damage to me. Good. Also, I got no netherite, it looks like. I'm gonna punch out all the flames just to be sure, but I don't see any immediately, so yeah, I think I got no netherite. Sadly, there's some blackstone here, which is mildly annoying, but I think it's fine anyway. Yeah, it seems like no netherite, although, no, no netherite, okay. Well, I've been netherite mining for about 2 hours now, just gathering wool here, making beds, and going blowing them up in the nether, and I've gotten a total of 16 ancient debris, which can get me another 4 netherite ingots, and I do have 8 things left that I want to turn into netherite, but I've decided I'm not going to do the armor for now, because I don't really care about armor toughness, and anytime I gain XP, the armor is going to heal itself, so it doesn't really need the extra durability that netherite gives. So instead, I'm going to do my 4 remaining tools, because they do have the problem of actually taking durability, because I'm not always holding them when I gain XP, like my shovel and my pickaxe, for instance. But I do have to smelt this up first, so be back in a second. And there we go, we got our 16 netherite scrap, and now I can go ahead and make 4 more netherite ingots and upgrade all of my tools. Got the fortune diamond pickaxe, got the netherite pickaxe now. We got the axe, the sword, and the shovel, and that is all of my tools, all netherited up. Do still have to do the armor, but I don't want to do more netherite mining right now, so we're going to do that later. Because right now I want to do some more building, and I have a specific thing in mind that I want to build, which is of course my skeleton farm. This thing, it's functional, I guess. It's kind of ugly though, which is the exact reason I want to change it. It's literally just a hopper and a chest. I want to get some filters in here. I want to make it look all pretty. And also I want to have a more proper way to get to it than just like this little cave entrance that goes out into the ocean. So I'm going to try and make like a little dock out here maybe, and then have a path going through here and actually up to the skeleton farm. I'm going to see what I can do. I'm not sure if this is going to turn out exactly the way I want it to, but I can definitely make it look better than whatever it is right now. I've only really started building it, and it already looks so much better. I've put this little like dock here like I said I would, and the dock is going to be a lot more than this. It's just kind of like a little stub of a dock. I do want to have like a full on dock system over here with like actually like big boats and stuff that could like unload their cargo here and stuff. Also, I've kind of planned out this little path. It is by no means done. It's very ugly because there's still like coal ore in the ground and stuff. But it goes over to the skeleton farm, which is actually kind of down here. You can kind of see it. I've mostly covered it up, but I'll fix that later. And like I said, there's this little path. And also, I decided I kind of need a way to get from the docks to the surface. Because if you're a cargo ship, right, you bring your cargo to the docks, you need to be able to get it up there. So I've planned out this little staircase that goes all the way up to the top of the jungle. And like I said, very much not finished because I'm not going to use oak here probably. It's going to be nice and textured and stuff, and also I'm going to terraform a lot of this because it's kind of ugly. But anyway, it leads out to here, and that is a creeper. Back in the hole we go. But anyway, as you can see, it's functional, but it is certainly not pretty, and that is the next step. So yeah, I'm going to make this all look nice and good. I'm going to do a lot of terraforming with this cave because there's a lot of parts to it that I just like don't really want to be visible, like the skeleton farm right there. That makes it not work. 1 minute. There we go. There's just a lot of terraforming I have to do, and generally making it pretty. Gonna texture this path some more, texture that path some more, and hopefully it'll turn out great. I have been working on this for hours now, just making tiny little changes to the whole cave environment, and I think I can finally say it is done. I've done so much texturing and terraforming, and it has taken me a while because I'm not the best at this type of stuff, but I do eventually get it done. So I've textured both of the paths. I also finished up the skeleton farm, which is of course what this one leads to, and it is pretty functional. I think I just have arrows and bones in the storage because that's all I really care about. I was hoping I could talk long enough that some skeletons would spawn, but the game is determined to make this clip really awkward when I talk too much. Please spawn. What is happening? Um, okay, never mind. We'll come back to this. But anyway, I also I fixed up this area a lot because this kind of opened out into different area. Had a lot of clay in just generally every area. Aha! Okay, so this is the skeleton farm. You can just like hit them here, and you can't really collect the XP, but I don't really mind. This is so that you don't pick up many items, despite the fact that you still kind of do. And you saw this earlier a little bit. You can just walk in here and get the XP like that, and then all the items that aren't garbage just get put into these chests, and they're already like starting to be full, which is kind of a problem. But anyway, that's the skeleton farm. Back to what I was saying, which is I finished up this little waterway down here just because I like having the little bit of water. I added some railings, which may or may not have already been there. I don't really remember. Like I said, it's been a bit. I also put these wooden braces kind of like everywhere because that's just how caves like this I feel like should look because caves are not the most structurally sound things generally. So these are kind of everywhere, and I've also textured the walls just with like andesite and stuff. I've closed off a bunch of stuff in like that area, and also I'm very proud of this. It looks quite nice. I put in this vein of calcite that goes like all the way up to the top. If we just like head up here real quick, meh, meh, no torches. It's supposed to be dark in here. All this isn't spawnable, but I do want it to be very dark because it is a cave. But like I said, calcite comes back up here, and I've used diorite here because I think it looks quite a bit like calcite that's just been like worn away by people walking on it. So I've used that there, and the calcite just kind of like spirals out over here. Even though I don't think this is really how calcite forms because it's like a layer in the rock, so you wouldn't get like a twisty, turny shape like this. But you know, whatever. It looks good, so I don't really care. And then eventually you get to the top here where there's just like it transitions to dirt. There's a lot of roots and stuff, and I've done this like mine entrance type thing. It's not a mine, but I don't really know how else to do a entrance to an underground tunnel other than like this shape. So that's what I've gone with, and I think it looks pretty good. And there's not really anything else around here yet, but we definitely now have a nice little way to get up and down. And I really like the view from up here. You can see all the way down to the bottom. And if I ever have to use this, I will be doing this because with Feather Falling 4, that doesn't do that much damage, and it is so much faster. Now that we have this whole cave path nice and complete, all textured and stuff, I want to move on to something that I said I'd put off earlier in today's episode, which is the dock down here, because I made this little nub of a dock, but it's not really enough for a whole port town, so I need to extend this a ton, and then at that dock there's going to be boats. And I also want to build a boat. I'm not going to do the docks fully because that's a lot of like planning and stuff, but I am going to build one singular boat and also extend the dock to that boat. And I think I'm going to do this in a time lapse. So let's jump right into it. We have a boat, but I can't really properly admire it yet because I don't have any docks yet, so we're going to jump right back into another time-lapse to build these docks. It's going to be 3 seconds long, 1 second for the fade in, 1 second for the time-lapse, and 1 second for the fade out. It's literally going to take less time than the time I'm taking to talk about it, so let's do it. Cool, we now have a dock so that I can properly admire this boat that I've built, and this is the first time I've ever built something like this. Like, I've never built a boat before, but I think it turned out really well. You know, you have the first sail and the other sail and also a flag up there. I really like the flag. And I've realized something in the course of building this dock, which is that this boat is in theory like tied up here, and there's wind in its sails, which doesn't really make like any sense. But I've kind of decided to ignore it because I experimented a little bit with trying to make it look like the sails were tied up, and it just didn't look very good. So I'm gonna leave it like that. But other than that, I think it turned out really great. It's a pretty basic design, really. It's just a lot of spruce, which, by the way, in this world, spruce is really annoying to gather. There's a lot of jungle, so I decided I'll just like go on a boat into the ocean. I did that for an hour before I gave up and checked the seed map, and there's spruce like 500 blocks that way, and that's the closest one. It's great. But yeah, it's very basic, a lot of spruce, and I did this like colory part of it down on the side. It's supposed to kind of mimic the colors of a parrot with like red, yellow, and green. That's also, of course, the colors of the flag way up there. And other than that, it's a very simple design. It's just I was supposed to make that jump. There's like this part which doesn't act. It doesn't have a what's the steering wheel called on a boat? I'm just gonna call it steering wheel. There's no steering wheel because I couldn't think of a great design for that. But that's kind of the only thing that I thought of that really should be here that just isn't. The rest of it is quite nice. There's this place where you'd have like cabins and stuff if it wasn't just empty, and there's also a hatch to get down into the holds of the boat. Once again, if it wasn't just empty. And I think this is the next thing I'm gonna do is do the interior to the boat, put like some cargo down here, put some cabins and like a place for the captain to sleep up here. It should turn out pretty good. And there's one other thing I do want to do, although I'm kind of stuck in here for a second. There we go. The other thing I want to do is I want to make a gangplank so you can actually get on and off of the boat without doing parkour, because if you're unloading cargo, doing parkour is not the most feasible option. So I'm going to try and connect the dock to the boat right here. I'm not sure how well that's going to go because I haven't really like come up with a great way to do it other than just some slabs, which might end up looking really ugly, but I'm at least going to try. So I'm going to do the interior to this, try and make a gangplank, and then I'll be back. Yeah, so I didn't even try to make a gangplank. I have no idea how to. I thought about it a little bit and then gave up, but I did do the interior to the entire boat. So we'll do a little bit of a tour starting with this little cabin area. It's a little bit more classy than down in the hold. So we have a potted dead plant, and also two cabins. They are exactly the same, except they have different colored beds. This would probably be for like the captain and the mate, maybe. Although I suppose the captain would have a bigger room. But anyway, that's generally the idea behind that. And then if we head down here, this area was really hard to get the feeling that I wanted with it, because I want it to feel cramped because you're in the hull of a ship, and that's just how I feel like that is. So I made the crew quarters really, really small. There's 4 beds in here as well as some storage, and you have 2 whole blocks to walk around in. It's great. And then the rest of the hold is just like storage. So you have some chests, some barrels. It's supposed to be raw meat, and this is a horrible way to transport raw meat because it's not like salted or anything, which is, I would imagine, probably how you do it in medieval times, or maybe put it with ice, but I think that doesn't really come till later. And also, there's some wheat. I've just tried to think of things that Parrotkeep can't really get by itself, so it has to import them. So there's not a bunch of clear land for pasturing or growing crops, so they import meat and wheat. And then also things they have to import is dark oak and spruce, because I had to go get these earlier in today's episode, and it took me forever. So I've decided that, since they're not plentiful in the immediate area, it makes sense that they would import it. So that's why these are in this room, and that's the entire boat. Like I said, it's a pretty simple interior, but I'm actually really happy with it. I think I did a really good job. And with that, I think I'm going to end this episode here, because I'm pretty much done with all the things I want to do. I know I haven't done a gangplank, but like I said, I don't know what to do for that. But before I end this episode, there's one more thing I want to do really quickly, which is I want to go update the map to put this boat on it. I think I'm probably going to end up doing this at the end of like every episode that I build something of significance in, because it's just so much fun. And I think I might actually have to go down to the water to get it. Oh, or I guess not actually, because that is all you can actually see of what we built today. But that's okay. I might extend this map to be a 9x9 in the future so you can see the dock stuff, because you can see a little bit of the dock, but the boat itself isn't actually on there, which is a little upsetting, but that's going to have to do it for today. So for now, like if you liked, subscribe if you like it. Have a great day. And as always, bye bye.